Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your favorite Chess Journal YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing great, and it's been a while. As as you guys have already know that I am these days being a bit busy. And all right, so let's play some uh 10 minutes game, Blitz, 10 minutes Blitz, and see what we get. And I've just warmed myself up, and it's always actually good for me to warm myself up before I play for you guys. So we got a game, and we got black pieces. So, and our opponent is 1538. Okay, e4 on board. So can you guys guess what are we going to play? Yep, it is the Pirc defense. E4 d6, the Pirc defense. Alright, for some weird reason, my computer is giving me, or should I say, the laptop is giving me super lag. Bear with me, guys. I hope this is gonna be alright. So they play d4, we play knight f6. So how have you guys been doing? Hopefully everyone is doing great. And oh yeah, by the way, I must say that while checking email, I found that I have missed a couple of guys' emails, and if you are watching this game today and happen to be one of them, I do apologize once again. Let's develop this knight here. I do apologize once again because I don't know, for some reason I missed your emails, and surely you will. That's not a good move. That is not a good move. Opening up in the center. Instead, okay, let's go back. Instead that they should have developed this knight. But anyway, this person, the one we are playing with, Alberto 99 1533, and he's from, do you know this? Yeah, he's from Mexico. All right, so you will encounter, if you play with the Pirc defense or the Pirc defense, you will encounter this move often, and in that case, I recommend taking that and retaking with the knight. And once queens are gone, that's actually good news for us, because generally speaking, in Pirc defense, the black pieces remains a bit cramped. So we have to remember that when you have a cramped position, exchanging pieces is actually good for you. So the knight is being attacked by their dark square bishop. So let's move the knight to g6. Oh, the lag is still continuing, super lag. So they have developed their light square bishop, as well as, oh no, sorry, what am I saying? They have developed their king here on the long and castled. That comes with a tempo on our king. So we are going to blockade and develop our light square bishop. We gotta watch out this thing though. Powered by this dark square bishop. So we might wanna play. Yeah, their bishop was attacked, so they pulled their bishop back. Here. should we play this now to stop any kind of thing, or should we just ignore that? Just hang on a second, guys. I'm just calculating. The knight comes here on b5. That is the threat. Yeah, I think we should stop that. So let's play that one. A bit prophylactic. We could have also considered playing c6, but that's gonna blockade our light square bishop's eye. Now that's a tempo waster. Playing h3 instead of playing knight f3. I don't know. Okay, let's open our dark square bishop's path. We already have lost a lot of time. We only got 6 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Now knight f3. Okay. So we want to develop this dark square bishop. Where does he go? Let's go here. b4 square. Our threat is to take the knight and damage their pawn structure. So how's your games going, guys? Hopefully everything is good. So that is just a little threat, trying to win our rook. So what do? We just simply play here, king e7. That's also unpinning ourselves. And the threat is still there. So we are going to prove Team White that, look, when you break early at center during the game, that's not a good news. So they played this one once we capture with our dark square bishop so that they can recapture with the knight. So I guess let's take this knight. So this knight is going to take this knight, and now that allows us to develop our light square bishop here. We have to watch out. This pawn is c7 pawn is undefended. They played f3 to defend their knight, but one thing for sure, queens are not on the board, so we can play this move, f5, attacking the knight, and I'm kind of annoyed the lag I'm receiving from the laptop. Do you guys know any way how to fasten up your laptop speed? So they have played a3, counter-attacking our bishop. So let's calculate. If we take the knight, they are going to take our bishop, and then we will take their pawn. So this pawn has to be retaken. So our light square bishop is gonna win the pawn back with the tempo on the rook. So we're gonna be excuse me. So we're gonna be winning material. So let's do that. And as planned, I was just double checking. Let's see what they do. They could put the rook here though. Yeah, that's what they did. Okay. Now what? Development was speaking. Now it's time to develop the rooks, I guess. So we want to go here with our rooks. So what is stopping this rook? So let's try to get rid of that rook. Yeah, so by the way, those of you who have requested me to uh, requested me for the chess strategy lecture sheets, I'll try to send you out. I'll try to send them out. So they win the pawn back, but we're gonna take their rook. And now, yeah, this one. Threatening to take this rook, so rook has to move. And we are claiming that these squares are ours. So they have a dark square bishop. So we need to protect this pawn. And let's put the rook behind this pawn. So this is a diagonal thing. They have this plan here and then coming up here with a check. So we gotta keep that in mind. Maybe we should put the rook here on light square. Albeit, I must say that keeping the rook here only for the sake of this pawn is not a good thing. But on the flip side, this bishop is now paralyzed because it's watching this pawn here. This rook is also paralyzed watching or patrolling this file, and this light square bishop has got a limited scope. So because if it moves, we're gonna push this pawn. Now where do we go? Let's put the rook on a light square, maybe here, yeah, in an active square, active light square. Not here, because here it has got limited functionality, but from this light square it can go here, deliver a check. So our opponent is playing well. And his rating is 1532. He is an intermediate level player. He has given us a check. Let's come back to the regional square. Maybe our plan is to dive in here. I mean, this knight's positioning, I don't like it. So dive in here, and this backed up by our light square bishop. What is that? This one. Okay, so they're trying to dislodging our rook, but what do we always look for? Check captures. Threat, fork pin. So before moving this rook, we have a check. We could also capture their rook, but why do that? And we have a cool tactic though. We have a cool tactic. I mean, this rook it's up for grab, but our rook is challenged. We could actually take their dot square bishop, and should we do that, or should we deliver a check first? Let's give a check first. So if the king comes here, then we will take the dot square bishop. That comes the tempo. Okay, so the king goes there. Now we are going to take their rook. So we have saved our rook and weaned their rook. And we also have a check here on this rank. I've got only 1.5 minutes left. We're simply gonna win this pawn. It's never too late for any mistakes, though. I mean, the good thing is that we've got good control on light squares. So they have blocked the check. Now let's win this pawn. Let's develop this knight here. Threat is here to win the bishop. So pushing that pawn was their mistake, I guess. So now they're attacking our bishop, but bishop can come here, guarded by our knight. So if this bishop moves, do we have any checkmate around the corner somewhere? So this pawn is guarded by our knight. You know what? Let's challenge their light square bishop. Where does the bishop go? Okay, so the bishop, if it goes there, then we're gonna put the rook there, right? And thereby win the bishop. So the bishop is gone. Oh wow. So we are already rook up. Now we are going to be their light square bishop. We're going to win their light square bishop. Okay, so they have taken our pawn, delivered a check. So we retake. Thank you very much, guys, for those of you who have subscribed and those of you who are new to this channel. Please consider subscribing. So that's not a good move. Why are you putting your king here for discovered check? I think there's a checkmate around the corner. Yeah. So if we give check, this is their escape square. So let's occupy that escape square first and guard our knight. What is that? Okay. So thank you for the game, and their best move probably was to give up their or put their dot square bishop here to cut the rook's path going here on this g2 square. So yeah, Pirc's defense again. Okay, let's review the game. We have won a game with Pirc's defense. So we played, against their e4, we played d6 and d4 Oh boy, this is too laggy. Knight f6, knight c3, then we played knight bd7. And after that, they played here this e5 move. So, I mean, like, those of you who have been maybe wondering, what if white plays this e5 move early in the game? And I'm telling you guys, and as it is just been proven, this is not a good move. Instead, developing their knight or maybe playing other developing moves could have been better, but they played e5. So in this case, what we do, we just simply take with our d pawn, and once the transaction is over, yes, the queens are gone, but uh, our king is actually active, and they attack our knight, so we put our knight here attacking their square bishop. Now they castled long and delivered a check. Here what we did, we could have gone here, but then the knight comes here giving a check here and fork, so that's the reason why we temporarily blocked the check with our square bishop. And the bishop goes back there, square bishop, it has been attacked, so they pulled it back. Now here we played a6 to stop this knight jump coming here, and they played h3, again a tempo waster move. They should have considered developing. So we played e6, opening up our bishop's path. And once they played knight f3, we played bishop b4. We want to ruin their pawn structure. So they developed their knight here. Target is this pawn, and we just simply play king e7, unpinning from this, and as well as defending this pawn, weak pawn. And what else? So their knight went back here. That knight is defending that knight, as well as if we take this knight can jump in the action. That was a good move. So we took the knight anyway. So they took back, and now we attack this knight with our square bishop and developing. That's a beautiful diagonal. Action is going to happen there. So they played f3. That's an okay move, but maybe putting their knight somewhere else could have been a better move. So now we attack their knight again, f5, and here they played a3, attacked our square bishop. A simple, little calculation. So we took their knight, they took our square bishop. Now we won one of their pawn here, and so yeah, taking here the pawn, then we would have retaken with our square bishop, forking these two rooks. That's why the rook has to be played there, g1. Now we played rook h to d8. Why we played that? Because we always look for which of our pieces are not taking part in the game. I believe this move is actually one of the game changer move, because activating your one of the pieces is and letting him take part on the game is going to bring you with a lot of initiatives. and which beginners often tend to ignore or often tend to miss. Uh, Here, as you can see, their light square bishop is actually cutting the communication between their rooks, so which is the reason why developing here and trying to exchange this rook with one of our rooks, one pair of rooks, is actually gonna bring good news for us, and that's what could have happened, but they first grabbed our pawn, so we took their rook. That's what we wanted to do anyway. They take the rook with their king, and now we push the pawn. This one was another cool move, putting the rook here on the original square, h1 square, keeping him stay over there, stay put over there. We are not allowing him. That's like a positional advantage we have had. Now we put the rook behind this pawn, but we gotta make sure that this is like I mean, I talked about this many times. This is like a common mistake when your king and one of the pieces are in the same, I mean, major pieces are in the same diagonal, or not even the king. Maybe two major pieces are on the same diagonal, and diagonal actions are being made by bishops. They give dirty fork or check. So that's why, to avoid that, we need to put our rook. And again, this is a crucial strategic thing. Why do we put our rook? Putting the rook here on this square, f7 square, it looks cool. I mean, we're getting rid of that. But what's the future of that rook? Where is he gonna go next time? So we gotta calculate that and think about that. So instead, that's why we put our rook on f5 square here. So here, from here, we have this check. We could have come here, target this pawn. A lot of things, even going here and give this check and queening this, something like that. A lot of potential. So the check was delivered. Now we put our king on the light squares because they have the dark square bishop. And also, why this light square? Because this diagonal, if you can see, this diagonal is actually very well controlled by ourselves, because their bishop cannot come here, deliver a check, and as well as this square is now freed. So if needed, our knight can jump here anytime in the future and then jump here in the middle. That's why the king came here. We could have also gone there, but this is like more active. If required, we could have gone king walk with this, I mean, through this way, like this. Okay, so now they played king e. No, sorry. Now they played the blunder g4. They forgot that their rook is on pre. So that is the only blunder, I guess, or the major blunder or the major mistake. Here it looks cool. I mean, okay, he was probably telling, you're going to take my rook, I'm going to take your rook. But hang on, chess is not about that. We have a check. We always look for check. So check with the rook as well as with the bishop. So both of the two, which is better, definitely check with the bishop, because if we give a check with the rook, that's gonna block our bishop side. We could have also even considered taking their dark square bishop, because had we taken their dark square bishop, then what? They could have actually gone here with the rook, and this pawn is this pawn in that case probably was a gunner. So how do we save the pawn and we win the rook? Both by giving check with our light square bishop, and then when the king moved and we haven't taken the bishop, but we delivered this check with our rook, the one we have just talked about, and then once the king came here, e3 square, we now take the rook. I think I'm gonna stop here because afterwards, I mean, they've tried to fight back, but yeah, the game was actually good, and my PC is, I mean, the laptop is giving me lag. So those of you who are new to this channel, please consider subscribing, and those of you who have already subscribed, I cannot thank you enough, guys. And stay safe, stay well. Till the next time, take care of yourself. Bye bye.